What's going on, everybody? Rest in Peaches here with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about a game that I feel has gone overlooked. A game that when I was getting blown out of Warframe, I was getting tired of playing the game. I was kind of getting burnt out. This was a game that, it helped. It's not a super serious game, but it is super fun. It is really overlooked. It's Mad Max for the Xbox One. The game got overlooked for the most part. Once it came out, no one really talked about it. There were other things to talk about. The Witcher was coming out, all that kind of cool stuff was coming out, and this game really got overlooked. Now, it's an open world. It's an open world action game, you would call it. I'm not going to be really doing any spoilers because the story for this game is actually one of the best written I've seen. I know some people who have played the game are going to be like, what are you talking about? But the ending and all that kind of stuff just kind of blew me away. It was really unexpected, a really great written game. But we're going to be focusing on gameplay, what makes the game fun, why should you pick up Mad Max when there's so many other games and this is already kind of old. But as you can see here, I just spawned in. Now, the main focus of the game, the combat is fun, but the main focus is the cars. So you can see here, the more parts you unlock for your car, the more Archangels you have access to. Now, the Archangels are kind of like pre-built cars that you can just pick from on the fly, whereas these cars here are cars you actually find out in the world, and you can bring them back to your base and then drive them again at a later time. So, Archangels are the car that you already customized, but on the go. And then the other vehicles are just vehicles you kind of pick up as you play the game, as you progress through the story, or cars you just find driving around, for instance. So here is a great example of what makes the game so good, are these random events. They just kind of pop up on you. I didn't think I was going to get a storm while I was recording for the review, just because storms are so few and far between. But here I'm actually trying to get away from the storm, because the storm kind of does, if you're in the middle of doing something, or if you're trying to do a game review real quick and a storm comes, then it's just going to throw everything off, because the storms are so unpredictable and over the top that it's kind of like a big deal when a storm shows up. But that's one of the beautiful things about the game. There's so many little intricate events that go down. You can see the storm just hit, so everything, there's turmoil in the air, there's stuff and debris flying around. You get out of your car, it will knock you down. Pieces of flying debris will hit you, you take damage. But in the storm, there's loot boxes that you can pick up, so it's an event that happens, and then something even better comes from the event. It's kind of like this unexpected thing, oh, I gotta deal with the storm, but at the same time you get these huge loot boxes that are worth the money in the game, which is scrap. Scrap metal is actually what you collect to upgrade your car and the Archangel and all that kind of stuff. So, trying to grab the loot box. And here's a little bit of the combat. So the combat, if you've ever played one of the Batman games or Assassin's Creed, it's super straightforward. It's press X to punch them, hold X to punch them really hard, press Y to counter them. You can see here I'm using some of the executions to kind of speed up the combat. Now this is an endgame character, so I'm hitting for as hard as possible. My fury meter is building up way quicker than it usually would. Things like that, but the combat in the game I actually like a lot, because when you're burnt out on other games and you're not really trying to, try super hard or go super ham and just have all this stuff to do and worry about all these button presses, it's a nice, just kind of chill out and play Mad Max kind of game. Which is the beauty of the game, really. If you haven't beaten the story mode, slowly progress through it. If you have beaten the story mode, again, it's like Assassin's Creed or Batman or most of the open world games nowadays, where there's little things you can go out into the world and do. There's little events. People are walking on the side of the road. They're thirsty. You can stop and give them water. You can always fight some of the legions driving around. There's random cars that just drive around that just want to start with you, so you can just kind of like drive around and fight them. You can upgrade your car to make it into this tank beast to shoot rockets out, to shoot fire out of the sides. There's just so much to do in this game, and I really feel like it was, when it came out, it just had a really bad time to come out. But it really is like a top contender for one of the best games on Xbox, because it's just, there's so much to do. The story is so unpredictable. It's one of those games that, you know, a lot of people missed out on because the reviewers had better things to do, which I don't like that about the gaming community right now. Is if a game like this comes out, but let's say like Call of Duty or Battlefield 1 comes out, something like this is going to go overlooked, which I think is what happened to it. But this is definitely one of those games that I think everyone with an Xbox should have, because it's a fun game to go play. It's a fun experience. There's so much customization in the game. Not even when it comes to your car, even Max himself is super customizable. And then you can see here the combat is just fun. It's easy. You don't really have to worry about dying. You don't get mad when you do die because you're like, oh, I just kind of missed a counter. There's just so much to do. Let's take a look at how we can customize Max now. So when it comes to customizing Max, there's different little tiers that you can customize. So you have like different body armors. This is actually all the last things that you unlock for Max are actually from the original movie. So you can unlock the original double barrel sawed-off shotgun, his original leather vest, that kind of cool stuff. You can actually unlock the Interceptor from the first Mad Max movie. Not the new one that came out, but the original Mad Max and Thunderdome, his car from Thunderdome. But you can see here, like, Max is super customizable. You can change his hair, you can put grease on his face, you can put paint on his face because the War Boys, all the different factions look super different, so you can kind of go with, like, a Max has gone crazy roleplay or whatever you want to do. But it's all on the fly, too, so you don't have to go somewhere to customize them, which is another thing that I love about the game. You don't have to go somewhere to customize your car. You don't have to go to the car shop to customize your car. You don't have to go back to base to customize Max. You could do it all on the fly. So right before you go into you can drive around looking normal, and then right before you go into a mission, you can customize everything. So this is my magnum opus, and I say it's mine because everybody's is different by the end of the game, because I don't put armor on my car. I don't really like having all the heavy-duty stuff on my car. I like just making it look real nice. And this is, so I'm just going to customize the engine right now. Just get the customize, just buy it with the scrap that I have built up. There you go, and now it's on my car, and I'm ready to go. I don't have to wait for a loading screen. I don't have to go back to base to unlock it. I just had the money, and I bought it. That's something that I think Mad Max was really overlooked for, because in most games you can't do stuff like this on the fly. You just customize this, and this, and then you just drive it and you see how it acts. And if you like the way that it acts or looks, just on the fly, there's so many different customizations for the car, and you can see all the stats in real time being affected. So you can paint the car the color you want it. You can put decals on the car that you like. There were some things that came with the pre-order bonus that I think are just free to download now. So there's like a Rockstar Energy logo you can put on your car. It makes your car go a little bit faster. You can unlock different colors for your car like I was talking about. So there's like a camouflage color. There's like gold paint, all the kind of cool stuff you can do with your car. And then these are the Archangels. So just cars, if you have all the parts to, you can just switch to on the fly. Like, oh, I don't want to be in this car anymore. I want to be in the Speed Freak. So if you have all the parts for Speed Freak, you can just select it and go and drive, and you're good. And now you have a fast car that doesn't really have much armor. Or if you're like, oh, there's a group of enemies over here, you can change to an Archangel that has much more armor or much more damage, things like that. And you know, the game is just, the load times are super quick. Like, you're in the game. You saw it at the beginning. I was just in the game 20 seconds, maybe 20 seconds to load the open world. And then there's no transition times. If you're going into a base, you're in the base. If you're leaving the base, you immediately just leave the base. The load screens are few and far between. Mostly you'll get a load screen if you die. So don't die and you won't really have to deal with load screens. But this is changing the body of the car on the fly. So I'm going to change back to the shovel face, which kind of looks like an original like Mustang. I really like the shovel face, but Mad Max is just one of those games that went overlooked. If you guys haven't, then go out and pick it up. It's definitely worth it. And if you like explosions, it's got them. But this is Rest in Peaches here with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. I do videos like this all the time. Just have a wonderful day. You know, stay positive and stay healthy, guys. Rest in Peaches, signing out.